This is Josh Hart, 4 seconds out. Delighted to be joined by Tom Welland here at the Wasp offices today. Tom, first one, really appreciate time, and how is it?
Yeah, so thank you. Been back in the office. I've been here for a little while. First time in the office, I think, in about a month. So good to be back. Good to be back. Being familiar with the team and all that sort of thing. So hot outside as well. So it's good to be here. Back conditioned rugby's.
Yeah, it is absolutely roasting today, but it is that time. I think it only gets hotter throughout the week as well, so it is what it is. We keep pushing on. Next fight for yourself, it's a big one. It's the first title fight of your career on the top tier show, so we can only imagine that you'll have a high slot on the card. How delighted you to have this opportunity ahead of you?
Yeah, no, obviously it's good for me, especially if you're back at home as well. Like I wanted my first title fight to be somewhere near home, so all my friends, all my family could get there and watch it live on TV. But obviously, at Commonwealth Youth, we wanted a World Youth title back. Listen, it's one of those things that boxing politics played its part. So we set up for a Commonwealth Youth, which is a title I wanted to have before. We've got a good opponent, I think, an undefeated opponent, so it'll be in for a good fight. And listen, the teams will go out quick, so it's just back at home. Obviously, we'll remain a bit as well, so yeah, it's good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Especially when you look at the last fight, obviously all the way up in Newcastle, it is a bit of a distance away from Essex. Did it always? First of all, how do you get on with tickets when you are boxing in places like Newcastle? I'm sure there's a bit of a difference, but do you still get those big turnout?
Yeah, like obviously it's a bit of a mission going up to London, but it's about a 7-hour drive, like 5 hours on a train. But like, the tickets still do go out. I've got friends and family that are still up in Newcastle. Some of my friends who have friends who live in Newcastle and can't stay with their pals, so the tickets still go out. Obviously, there is a massive difference. Like, we'll fight at home. If we fight at York Hall's not that local from there, but it's like the most local you'll get in London, even for them. Like, the tickets shift. We do 300-400 at York Hall, we do that 500 in Brentwood, so it is good. But we know that's why when we do those things that we get a good TV slots, because we know that there is people that we're watching. But for my first title fight, I want as many people in as I can get, and then after that we can build around the country. That's no problem. The first month, especially, sort of where your career sort of starts to get serious. So I want it to be at home.
Absolutely. Do you feel this is called the perfect time? Is it 9-0 now? Is that the right?
Yeah, I'm like.
It's 10th fight, first half fight. You feel it's kind of coming at the perfect time for yourself.
Yeah, I think so. I think we was get to a stage where we were going to be getting bored if we did the same thing that we got over the last 18 months. But we had to start progressing it a little bit. Not too quick, not too soon, but it's not too late either. I think where I'm a bit younger, I'm only 20, so I've got so much time on my hands that I can actually play with. I can play with the time. Don't need to be rushing into these continental, into these British title with lead beds. I just don't need it. I was 20 years old. These little youth titles, that's the World Youth, the Commonwealth Youth, even the Commonwealth Gilberts, but they're there for a reason. For people that have got time on their hands and they can just go belt collect. And to be honest, when I've finished boxing, I want to hang up all my belts and be like, yeah, that's where it started. I've got all these different belts where that's where it started for me. Collected all of these, then I went on to win a world title, and then we did this and we did that. That's where it all started. To do it up home, sort of a dream come true for me. But listen, we've got a job to do first before we can start belt collecting in September. We get that job done, then we push on.
Absolutely. Just looking at your career as a whole so far, I feel like you're one of those prospects that no one's ever really had a bad word to say. I feel every time you've got in the ring, you've impressed the fans, you've impressed the people, especially the more critical boxing fans. I've never really seen a bad word about Tom Welland. How impressed are you with the growth and how your professional journey's gone so far?
Yeah, it's good. Also, you will face your critics. It's just part of life, even if you're not in the box, even if you're not a boxer, like if you're not a sportsman, you go to work, you'll face critics, So to have my one, say a bad word about, but it's the best outcome that could have possibly happened, really. There is times when, I watch fights, I've not been happy with things, I've not been happy with this, I've not been happy with that, but the critics haven't even acknowledged it. They sort of just hooked out the positives, and because there is more positives than there is negatives, so it's a good thing. But at the same time, we have to keep working on and keep taking the right fights to make sure those critics are silenced to everything that is positive, and the fact that everything is positive, then I have to do down the opportunities like these little shops and like these little type of shots that I can push on for those bills, because people know that they're going to get a good entertaining fight, and they know that it's the right time for me to do the headline.
Absolutely, and obviously
not going more than any phase.
Obviously, all focus on September first of all, but how would you like to see, let's say, the next title is from the first title fight? How would you like the 12 months after that to unfold? What would you like to do in that time?
Obviously, we get the job done in September, and then we kickstart a sort of a belt collecting 12 to 18 months. I'd like to be fighting for as many titles as I can. I'm only going to be fighting 8 or 10 rounders anyway without the titles, so we might as well stick a title on it and get a good opponent because there is a title for it. You know, that's the sort of the only thing that we're going to get good opponents with. You know, we are struggling with opponents when there's not a title, so we sort of have to give them an incentive to fight, and the only way to do that is by either up their money or and let them fight for the title. So for me, it's a win-win because I get the rounds in and I can fight for the title. So from the phase, one of those things. But in the next 12 months, I want to get at least 2 or 3 belts around my waist. It put me in a good position to start 2026, even 2027 on the right foot. You know, like it's just we need to start pushing forward now. Like this is my 10th fight. If I get to 15 fights and a couple of belts, by the time that the big dogs start leaving the division, they might go up, some of them might retire, then we are really in prime positions. We're like, we can hold this division at ransom, especially domestically.
Absolutely. Just while I've got your time, I want to get your thoughts on some of the big boxing fights that are going on. I guess we're going with Canelo Crawford first. We've seen the start of the press tour. The hype is building very nicely. How do you see this? I see a lot of mixed opinion on it. What's your opinion?
Crawford's not as small as what he looks. He's actually bigger than Canelo. He's not as wide, but taller. He's probably going to be bigger than Canelo on the line, to be honest. I just think Crawford's boxing IQ is so much more superior to Canelo. In terms of Canelo's a great inside fighter, but when you take the arm punches, like he punches good, they attack your arm, when you take those away from him, really, what we've got and how on the outside, I think Crawford's so much more well-rounded, such a more well-rounded athlete and boxer that he'll just pick Canelo to pieces. And I don't actually know if I think Canelo will get frustrated. I do. I think Crawford will make it a boring fight and they'll make it frustrated. And I don't think Canelo's going to touch him, so I can't really see it. I mean, if he overpowers him, then he will get to him in the end. But Crawford comes to fight on the inside. I just think Crawford's got an answer for everything that Canelo's got. But at the same time, up at a new weight, you know, rehydration is going to be a big thing. Cap's going to be a big thing. Sparring bigger opponents will be a big thing. Canelo's been there for a long time. So it all depends on that, but I think Crawford's got his own bus.
One point, just not to counter your point and just take into consideration, you have seen a lot of inactivity with Crawford. I think he's been 1 fight a year since 2019. Do you feel that could play into any sort of effect in the night? So we know that the fights that he has had have been huge ones every single time, but Canelo is that above to what it was facing already, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Canelo is obviously is nowhere near as ring rusty, if ring rusty at all. But at the same time, look at the opponents Canelo boxes. He's boxed for Jaime Munguia, Bruno Soares, Jaime Munguia, Edgar Berlanga, boxers like that who really you should have been getting out of there. We know that Jaime Munguia can get knocked out. They can get knocked out cold like did Bruno Soares, and he's not a massive puncher at Soares. So it's almost like you always look at that as if in tag was a good fight. No, might have weakened him, punching sort of punching freshly, but he should have got them boxes out of there. I think that sort of thing will just play into Crawford's hands so much more, even though he's more inactive. Because even though Crawford is smaller, he's been getting fighters out of there for fun. But he's been doing it once a year rather than 3 times a year like Canelo. So I don't know if the activity will be a big thing, but only because Canelo, they're both being in the gym, they're both being there sparring. So I don't know, it's a tricky one to call, but I'm saying Crawford UD.
Just lastly, Usyk Dubois, not too far away now. What did you feel Daniel Dubois can take away from that first fight and into this rematch? What do you feel is he's be a clean slate in his mind, and it's almost like this is the first I've faced Usyk?
Well, I mean, we know that he can hurt Usyk. I think that the shot was low, but it was very bullet at the same time. So he would have fell to the body, he would have hurt him, was to the body, but real down, low the belt. So he knows he can hurt Usyk, but at the same time, so Usyk downloads information like that. He knows that he can get hurt by that shot now, and he won't get hit by that again. You know, it's one of those shots that you hit him with it once, you got to make it count. He won't be hit with that again. I think Usyk makes it easier this time. I think he'll frustrate Dubois. I don't think he'll stand there and try and trade him like he did before. I just think he'll box around him, he'll pick him. And I think Dubois will be really like that first fight. He'll think that it's high, and then he'll probably have to tap out. That's all grenade or no, thinks like, I can't catch you. I ain't got the stamina, I've got the mental awareness to keep punching air and not land anything, you know, not having an effect on someone. So yeah, I just think Usyk's the chat. So he's a fucked up, but I just think this fight's just routine for Usyk, I think.
Fair enough, Tom. Appreciate your time and best of luck in September in Banjo. Appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Cheers, I'll thank you very much. Thank you very much.